This video is powered by the pros at Pascal Air Plumbing and Electric. Arkansas owned, Arkansas operated. GoPascal.com.
Mike, it just seemed like the opening minutes of both the first half and the second half really, it was the difference in the game. Would you just talk about, I guess, those frames and what went wrong there?
They were really good. I thought they came out, made shots, got matchups they were looking for. And that punch in the mouth is hard to come back from. We've been punched before. That first one in the first quarter was as hard as we've been punched. That is a really, really talented team, and we didn't have an answer for them at any spot in that first quarter. And when you're in the position that we've been in, where our confidence gets shaken, it happens so fast. We really had to regroup, but we did. So I just told Phil, and I've said it to y'all, I think, as well. We feel like, once we used to be a great starting team and a bad fourth quarter team. Well, we've got that solved now. Well, now we're not a good starting team. So it's kind of like you keep sticking your finger in the dike, and it causes a leak somewhere else. That, we've not been shooting the ball well outside of Chrissy in the last 5 games. And tonight, everybody else shot it pretty good, and she had a tough night. So we've not put it all together. I've yet to crack the what to do on the road on 8:00 games, whether that's, do a lot or do little, but we have not got off to good starts in those situations. We'll go back to the drawing board with that. But the difference in tonight and the way we've been getting on the plane will be encouraging going into Sunday. We're in the exact same position as we were last year, going into the last game of the year at 6-8. 6-9. We were 6-9 going, actually, ironically, coming down here. We got a win here, built some momentum. We won a game in the SEC tournament, found ourselves in the NCAA tournament. Mississippi State's obviously an NCAA tournament team. So, we'll come in Sunday, quick turnaround for an 11 o'clock start, in the same position we were this time last year when it comes to building momentum to the SEC tournament.
And then only other question I have, it seemed like Sam kind of found her rhythm again tonight, 25 points, of course. Would you just talk about seeing her? It just seemed like she was playing with a lot more confidence than she has.
There's no doubt, the encouragement Sam's a kid that does better with encouragement than discouragement. I think we all are. We've all been battling that, and we all came together, and the stuff that we did together as a team, I think gave her that encouragement. And I think too, knowing that, we've stuck with her, we are that type of team that allows players to have moments that aren't maybe to their standard that we all expect, but you don't fire people. We didn't make changes. You keep coaching them through it. Now we'll have to do that with some others, but it's good to have her back. She's obviously a tremendous weapon when she is playing with confidence and playing at the speed and playing as hard. I'm learning some things with her that I've not known in the past. So it's encouraging, yet it's frustrating because we'll show ourselves. We play really good for 5-6 minute spurts, and then there's times that we don't. So as encouraging as it is, it's baffling still for us at times on why we can't put a full 40 minutes together against good teams. But I think it's again testament to how good Mississippi State is how good they're playing, and I think he's got them peaking at the right time.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Christina.
Yeah, Coach, just what did you feel like keyed that improvement late in the third quarter? You had that run, and then early in the fourth.
Our pace was really good, and when we got some stops, we came up with some 50-50 balls. And we'll have to be honest, they missed a few shots that they were making earlier in the game. I'm not telling you that we made them miss anymore, but it was a little bit better in that third quarter. When you look at the stops we were getting, it allowed us to run. I thought our transition was good, and our defense picked up a little bit. And just, I think overall our approach was a lot better in that third and into the fourth. There was our timeouts. The talk was good. Their body language was better. Their togetherness was better. So that's what I think the difference in us. That's this team. If we can have that with each other and for each other, then I think we got a chance to be really good. If we don't, then I think we're pretty average.
And then Aaron played 6 minutes in the first half. Just what made you decide to go with others early on there?
Yeah, I thought, Emery's been really, really good. Her lineups have been some of our best for the last 5 games. I've told our kids, it's as much how it looks as what's getting accomplished. And it just didn't look like she was as engaged as she normally is. It's really hard for, kids that have a lot at stake. And I talked to her at halftime, and I thought she was so much better in the second half. So that's growth for her, growth for us. But, Emery got in a little foul trouble. That guy Marion some extended minutes, which is good. I still am very cautious with her because I don't want to break her confidence going against a kid like Jessica Carter. It's a 5th-year kid. I took her when she came out. I said, that's going to be you when you're having your senior night. So there's positives. I thought Aaron really responded from that. And that's what we've got to have. We got to have all 5 of them with that type of approach. And that's what we've learned about Aaron. Tell her what you want from her. We did. And she responded with it.
And then I know every coach kind of does this differently, but are you someone do you talk with the team about, NCAA tournament positioning? And so that's something that they're aware of. And how are you kind of handling those conversations?
Just like we always do, just with brutal honesty and truth. And, I don't put any stock in what other outlets. I've studied this for the last 23 years. I was fortunate to have a head coach who wanted me to understand it. So I've been following it for 23 years. So I brought him up to the office. We have it on a board. I showed him the paperwork that I go through. And I told them, we've got to give the committee something to talk about in that room. We've not shown it in wins. So we've got to show it in how we're playing against good teams. Mississippi State's an NCAA tournament team. Obviously the teams in our league, there's going to be 7 or 8 of them. That we know this. There is no chance of us making the NCAA tournament if we don't win on Sunday. So let's not make any bones about it. That's the truth. We got in at 7 and 9. I will tell you this. There's going to be some team in some league. It may not be our league. I hope it is because of the quality at the top of our league. But there's going to be some team getting the NCAA tournament this year that's 3 games under 500, not just 1 or 2. So just keep playing the best you can. The bubble is crazy. Every night you look up, there's upsets across the country, and there's things positioning and moving. The eye test is probably going to be more important. And I think tonight, the way we came back and the way we played, anybody that watched that game has got to know that this team has potential given an opportunity. So we do talk about it. We talked about it in the last couple of media timeouts there, that it's going to come down to something real minute to separate the 67th, 68th, and the 69th and 70th team, the 2 teams that don't get in. So let's not give them any more ammunition than they could possibly need. Let's make sure we've given them a lot of positives to look at, and that's what we're going to keep striving for.
Thank you. Jordan?
Over this last stretch of games, it seemed like there are a lot of players who were missing shots that they were making earlier in the season, and then I'm sure they're making at practice. Sort of, how do you get them out of that slump, and what do you think has sort of contributed to this struggle so far?
Yeah, I think it's probably a little bit of pressure. We didn't do a great job of blocking out some noise that we needed to early on when it took us a while to get out of it. We're past all that now. We obviously played a lot more fearlessly tonight than we have been playing. We've been playing fearful. So, I think as far as the making of the shots, I think as the year goes along, Sailor's hitting that freshman wall that all freshmen hit. You've got a few newcomers that still hit those walls, but it's just that late season. And it's hard to make shots when you're not as confident. You can't just give people confidence. You can give them encouragement, which is what we've been doing, and we'll keep doing, because I know the night that we get our rotation playing as good as they can play, that it'll be fun to watch. But I think there's lots of things that contribute to it. I think they all sound like excuses, so I don't talk about them because other people are making shots this time of the year. So, but I can assure you, we monitor every single day in practice with the technology we have. It's not because they're over playing too many minutes. It's not because we're working them too hard in practice or lifting too many weights. Those things are all the same as they've been every year that we've ever been apart. This particular team has not been able to all get hot on the same night. So we'll keep looking for the answers. We're not giving up, not throwing our hands up and being resigned to the fact that, hey, this just may not be our time. We're going to keep trying to make it our time. And if we did a better job tonight, we talked about maybe turn down a 3 or so and drive it. We get back to the foul line 31 times tonight. That's an improvement on where we've been. So there's still work to be done there, but I know this team's got a 15 for 32 night in them, and I'm going to stand behind them. I'm going to stand up for them every step of the way, and keep encouraging them and keep staying in alignment with how we do and what we do.
And this is the last one for me, but when most teams go down by 20 plus, you start to see, players walking up the court, not diving for loose balls. That never so really happened tonight. So could you just talk about the fight that this team has?
Well, we learned our lesson down at Georgia. I will say this group is really good at evaluating and learning lessons, and we did. Well, you hate to use the word quit, but it was close to that at Georgia. We got really frustrated. A lot of things happened, and we had a great just moment of reflection, and we saw it. We didn't want to be that team anymore. We didn't like being that team. None of us felt good, so we weren't going to let that happen tonight. The talking, the timeouts was always about winning that next 2 minutes, which we did. And I know it's small consolation, but to win the second half means a lot. But when you look at this box score, my eyes just keep getting drawn to 25-9 start. That is too much to ask of almost any team to overcome. But Jordan, you're right. Our actions and our behaviors were commendable. I said this is a team that I want to coach for a bunch more games. I think that's a positive thing, and we'll keep highlighting those and keep trying to find ways to execute a little bit better. And hope we get a good crowd on Sunday to come out. And the crowd tonight was great for them. I hope we get the same type of crowd support for our senior night, for the kid, for Avery, and for Chrissy.
BetOnline remains your number one source for all your sports betting this season. Everything from the NFL and bowl season to esports. You'll find the latest odds, team matchup info, player news, and game trends at BetOnline. BetOnline features live betting, free contests, and live scores for almost any sport or game imaginable. We're the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite leagues and events. Head to betonline.ag to join and receive a 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Make sure to use the promo code BELIEVE to receive your rewards. That's BLEAV. BetOnline, where the game starts.